Hello everyone. In the middle of a peaceful afternoon, Home was startled when he saw a stranger's shadow moving furtively in the house, quickly approaching. His heart suddenly tightened when he realized it was the policeman's mother. Her eyes flashed with panic mixed with mystery. Her hands kept searching as if she was looking for something important. The air became thick, the sound
What are you
of her
doing
heart
here?
pounding
Get
in her
out of my
chest.
sister's house.
Anger flared up. I brought
Home
eggs to my
immediately
daughter-in-law.
blocked away.
What right
Shouted
do you have
loudly,
to fire me?
asking
Her to leave, leaving behind an extremely tense confrontation. It was only 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun was still blazing. The sunlight was burning down on the fields, yet Nhat and his mother had already gone out to the field to hoe corn. Sweat was dripping down their backs. Their hands were covered in mud, but neither of them stopped. The sound of the hoe hitting the dry soil rang out steadily, mixed with the sound of heavy breathing. Mother occasionally looked up, quickly wiping the sweat rolling down her cheeks, her eyes still determined. Nhat was silent, only nodding slightly when his mother signaled, then continued to bend down to hoe each corn stalk, as if afraid of missing the season. In the middle of the steady hoeing, his mother suddenly said softly, "Nhat. I plan to take you to a big hospital in the city after this. Who knows, the doctor might be able to cure you, so you can speak like everyone else. I believe, as long as there is hope, I will not give up." Nhat paused, his eyes sparkling, then he nodded vigorously. In the bright sunlight, a familiar figure appeared on the deserted road. It was the policeman's mother, her figure haggard but her eyes unusually sharp. Her hands tightly held the bag of eggs, each step revealing the limp, the pain from her injured leg. Sweat beaded on her forehead, running down her cheeks, but she did not stop. Arriving at her son's gate, she was stunned. The gate was locked, the house was silent, not a sound. Her expression suddenly changed, from worry to annoyance. She rummaged through her bag, looking for the key with impatience, but in vain. Her eyes darted around, looking around, as if looking for a way out, or something else. Unable to return, she had to personally give the eggs to her daughter-in-law. A thought flashed through her mind. The old mother's eyes suddenly flashed a cold light as she stopped at the narrow gap by the gate. Despite the scorching heat, she did not hesitate, clutching the egg bag tightly. Even though her leg was aching, each movement of her bending down and slipping through the iron gap was surprisingly quick and decisive. It was not the clumsiness of an old person, but the experience and expertise of someone who was all too familiar with this. In just a few seconds, she was inside, the egg bag still intact in her hand, her eyes sparkling with an unnameable secret. When she reached the front door, she paused when she saw that the lock was still locked. Her trembling hand touched the door, then she suddenly leaned close, pressing her ear to listen. That moment of suffocating silence seemed to signal a bold action about to happen. Breathing heavily, she bent down to rummage through her bag, the holes in the house pillars. Each item was hastily pulled out, but the key was nowhere to be found. The sun shone down, making her forehead bead with sweat, her eyes darting around as if calculating. While the policewoman's mother was still searching for the keys, a car came from afar and stopped abruptly in front of the gate. It was none other than Nhat's adopted brother. As soon as he got out, his eyes were immediately glued to the scene of her struggling in front of the door. He shouted loudly, his voice full of suspicion, "Old lady, what are you stealing?" Without needing to hear an explanation, his eyes quickly darted to the gap next to the gate. With just a moment of hesitation, he immediately rushed forward, bent down and skillfully squeezed through, ready to face her. Ken just crawled through the gate, walking straight to the policeman's biological mother. Without asking, he shouted, "What are you doing here?" She was startled, her hands holding the egg bag tightly, but still tried to keep her voice calm. I just brought eggs to them." Ken laughed coldly. "Eggs? Do you think I've forgotten everything you've done? Do you think just one egg bag can cover up all your sins?" She frowned, took a step back. "Be careful what you say. I'm her mother. Mother." Ken growled, stepped forward and pressed closer. "The mother who caused my sister to miscarry, beat her and pushed her into the pond. The mother who changed my sister's medicine to make her unable to talk." The mother's face turned pale, her eyes darted around, her breathing was rapid. That was a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding. Ken shouted, his voice like thunder. Once could be a misunderstanding. Twice is a coincidence, but 3 times, 4 times, what is it? It's intentional murder. The air was thick. The sound of cicadas chirping made the silence between the two people even more tense, like a string about to snap. Can looked straight into her eyes, his gaze as sharp as a knife. My sister is the wife of a policeman, but has to live in fear right in her husband's house. She has never done anything wrong to you, yet you keep trying to harm her. Do you still have a conscience? She gritted her teeth, gripping the egg sac so hard that the eggshells cracked. Do you think you have the right to stand here and lecture me? Ken did not back down, his voice lowered but colder than ever. I have the right to protect my sister. If you ever touch her again, even if you are the biological mother of a policeman, I will make you pay. The two stood facing each other, only a few steps apart, their eyes devouring each other. The sun was beating down, but the heat was not coming from the sun but from the anger raging between them. The sound of arguing echoed throughout the yard. Ken and the police mother were arguing while running around in circles as if they were chasing each other. Ken held a long piece of wood in his hand, his eyes red with anger, raised as if ready to strike at any moment. Get out of my sister's house now, Ken shouted loudly, his voice echoing off the walls, or I'll break your legs. The mother dodged, panting heavily, trying to keep the egg sac from falling. What are you going to do? I'm her mother. She still tried to defend herself. Mom, Ken said each word harshly. You dare to come in here, plotting to harm her again. How many times have I warned you? Ken took a step forward, raising the piece of wood high, forcing the police mother to retreat to the corner of the yard. Her face now showed less resistance. Her voice gradually became softer and trembling. I didn't mean any harm. I really just wanted to bring eggs to them. Please believe me, just once. But Ken still held the piece of wood tightly. His breath was ragged. His eyes were deeply suspicious. Trust her. After all she's done. He gritted his teeth, his voice low but full of danger. I can't believe your words anymore. The two stood motionless in the middle of the yard, so quiet that only the sound of cicadas and rapid breathing could be heard. Khan's eyes were still as sharp as knives, while the police mother lowered her head, her hands tightly gripping the egg bag. After a while, she looked up, her voice trembling but determined. You, trust me this time. Let's sit here and wait for Hang's family to come back. Whatever you want to ask about what I've done in the past, I will answer everything. Ken stared at her, suspicion still in his eyes, but in the end, he nodded slowly. Okay, I will trust you, this time. But if you lie, don't blame me. The atmosphere was as tense as a string, signaling that a confrontation was about to break out. The two of them sat down on the stairs in silence, the afternoon sun casting long shadows on the yard. Khan's eyes still did not leave her. Why did you hurt my sister before? She lowered her head slightly, her voice lowered, slightly trembling. Before, I saw that she was mute. I did not like her. I thought she was not worthy of my son. But now, she hesitated. I regret it. Ken narrowed her eyes, not sure if her words were true or just part of her game. Ken stood pensively by the garden, his fingers lightly touching the petals still covered in sunlight. The familiar sound of footsteps and voices echoed from the alley entrance, pulling him out of his thoughts. Nhat and his mother returned from the fields, their shoulders still covered in dust. Seeing the car parked in front of the gate, they immediately recognized Ken had arrived. Nhat's mother called out loudly, her voice excited. Ken, you're here. Ken turned around, quickly walked out to greet her, his face clearly showing tension. As soon as the three of them entered the yard, he immediately said, in a serious voice, the police mother has crawled through the side of the gate, damaging the fence. Nhat's mother paused, then just smiled slightly. Okay, it's okay. Let's go inside first, then continue talking. As soon as they entered the house, Ken and Nhat immediately noticed the limping gait of the policewoman's mother. Nhat's mother frowned and asked worriedly, In-law, what happened? The policewoman's mother sighed, her voice lowered, then slowly recounted the whole story that had just happened. From the moment she was threatened to block the road until she had to squeeze through the fence to enter, the whole family fell silent, their eyes filled with shock and anger. Nhat's mother blurted out, Why didn't you tell Hang right away? She just shook her head slightly, smiling faintly. Well, it's over now. Ken looked straight at her mother, her voice serious. Mom, why are you so close to your in-laws these days? Nhat's mother smiled, recounting all the good deeds the policewoman's mother had done recently, from helping Nhat carry squash, buying medicine, to secretly supporting Hang when she was in trouble. Ken nodded after listening, then said bluntly, "But what if she's only nice to you, but plots behind your back? I won't stop you and your sister from trusting me, but you two should still be a little cautious. Don't wait until something happens to you to regret it." The atmosphere in the room suddenly fell. Everyone was silent, only heavy sighs could be heard. Nhat saw that and gently put his hand on Khan's shoulder, his eyes gentle, as if to comfort her. She couldn't speak, just smiled lightly, giving him a feeling of trust and peace, as if to say that everything would be okay. Just as Khan was about to return home, Hang had just returned from work. Nhat saw this and immediately ran out to welcome his husband. Entering the house, the whole family gathered together. The warm atmosphere spread. Ken looked at Hang and said softly, "The past few days have been hard for you." Hang shook her head slightly, smiling gently. "I'm fine, as long as our whole family is healthy, that's enough." The simple but loving words made Khan and Nhat both feel warm in their hearts. All the fatigue seemed to disappear.